Yo, what's up, everybody? Instead of answering questions via comments and email like I've been doing, I've decided to answer certain questions as video responses just because it's a little easier to talk about and it kind of answers a few more questions that might come of it. But here's the first one. This is Less Talk More Disco. It says, curious about which reverb you're talking about for kick. I always use dark. It sounds the best in general, but I'll try the plate kick. So what he's talking about is on the Octatrack. And so I'm just going to go through the sounds that I try and strive for when I make, I guess you could call it warehouse techno, just darker kind of techno stuff. And also, as a bonus, since everybody is watching right now, thank you so much for your support and commenting and subscribing. If you haven't done so, please do so now. It definitely helps out. I'm going to give everybody these samples that I sampled on my own. Probably just do the dry samples and then just kind of let you massage the sample with your plugins and stuff. So then it's your sample. Here we go. So here's the sound. This is the first loop off of the 2-hour techno set. And there's nothing going on in the amp or the LFO or anything, but the FX. This is one of the keys. I turn all my filters into 24 dB per octave filters. That's just kind of habit from synthesizer stuff. Sometimes you use 12 dB, but I just do that. And then also the main thing here is the distortion. All right, so we'll see what this sounds like without it. Not too bad. It needs more punch though, right? It needs to cut through. Gets pretty raw. Right. So what I tend to do with a lot of the things like effects and stuff is I tend to turn up the knob until it's too much. Like that got really hairy. And then as soon as it got hairy, just dial it back just a little bit. And that seems to be a good sweet spot for a lot of things. Otherwise, you're just kind of overdoing it, which is also bad. So the other thing, what we came to talk about, the reverb. It's the dark reverb. I thought it was the plate reverb, but it's the dark reverb. The key thing to notice here is that I use it as a send. What that does, it lets it ring out. Yep. And then also, let's check out the parameters here. I'm holding this microphone and the camera in one hand, so bear with me. So let's check out the time parameter here. I have 81. It's usually up there, 80, 90 something. All right, and then the send, have it up just enough to where you can start to hear it. And then this is the other important part, is the low pass filter, the high cut. All right, that's with no low pass, no high cut. So let's give it a second to ring out. All right, and that's what we're going for. We just want the reverb just to kind of fill out the low end. Here's without. It's pretty dry. And now we have some atmosphere and a huge low end. Probably turn it up some more. But remember, the key is not to overdo it. When you start doing this stuff and you have a lot of subtle things all going together, it all adds up and it makes a big difference. But on its own, isolated, it's easy to overdo things. All right, so let's check out the next secret, the analog heat. Let me play this. So key things to notice here are, I typically use the clean boost, and note that this is on the master, so everything is going through this. I typically use the clean boost, the saturation, or the enhancement for kind of like a harder sound. I use the saturation, and then a key thing here is the low boost and the high boost. And for filter dropouts, there we go. I got it on the steep low cut and just enough resonance. Too much. Dial it back just so we keep that energy as we go up through the mids, the low mids. All right. And then also the drive. Same principle applies here. Right? You want to turn it up until it gets hairy. So you can hear the cymbal starting to splat, or the clap is starting to splat. Typically the cymbals will kind of start to get a little crazy too. The highs are what happens when you add distortion like this. You happen to lose a lot of that definition. Right, too much. I just wanted you to hear the hi-hats. The cymbals. It's not doing it too much here, but the same thing. So you just dial this up until it's too much. And again, it's subtle. You just want it to make it nicer, fatter, bigger, rounder, warmer, everything. All right, and then here's without. All right, so you just get a more polished sound with the heat because, and it has a lot to do with this boost in the highs and the lows, and then the saturation is a big thing. I'm noticing that saturation is like a key for a lot of stuff. Now, just so you know, I have the FMR RNLA running. As you notice, it's only really just triggering with the clap. So let me mute everything else. All right, so it's not really triggering with the kick. So let's go through all that again with the heat, the difference there. So it's kind of more mid-rangey now. And then we just smile everything up and add some saturation. I don't know about you, but I can hear that in my sub. It's just like the sub just starts singing. It's fat. I feel like I'm in the club, so. Cool. Huh. So it's a little hot in here, no AC, and I had to turn my fan off so you could hear what I was saying. Oh, you know what? While we're here, let's do it with the plate reverb. So right now we got the dark reverb on. Flip it to plate. Let's use a send. And I'm just going to turn it up just so you can hear. All right, so the time, we need to turn that up. Yep, right about there. Let's cut out some highs. All right, that's without. Now you have some subtle atmosphere and it just fattens everything up. Amazing. Cool trick. And actually I'm hearing that kick. It sounds just a tad too. I hear like a little knock in there. So yeah, you'd have to tweak that. Like if that sticks out for you and you don't like it, then you would tweak that. So cool. Hopefully that answers your questions. I'm gonna get off this video and turn this fan on because it's hot in here, no AC, and we're in the middle of the jungle and it's really humid and hot. So anyways, I hope this helps you out. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'd love to make some more videos and help everybody out. So until then, take care.